Hi, everyone. I'm Meg Oliver. Donald Trump is pounding the pavement in the Midwest today. He's holding events in both Des Moines, Iowa and Green Bay, Wisconsin later today. This comes as the GOP nominee walked back claims he saw a top secret video purporting to show the U.S. making a $400 million cash payment to Iran. He alleged it was proof the U.S. paid ransom to free 4 Americans. Trump took to Twitter this morning, writing, quote, "The plane I saw on television was the hostage plane in Geneva, Switzerland, not the plane carrying $400 million in cash going to Iran." However, less than 24 hours ago, this is what he had to say.
The tape was made, right? You saw that with the airplane coming in, nice plane, and the airplane coming in and the money coming off, I guess, right? That was given to us, has to be, by the Iranians. And you know why the tape was given to us? Because they want to embarrass our country. They want to embarrass our country, and they want to embarrass our president, because we have a president who's incompetent.
Politico national politics reporter Eli Stokols is at the Politico newsroom in Arlington, Virginia. Eli, thanks for joining us.
Of course.
So we now see Trump walking back these comments on the top secret video. It shows hostages deplaning in Geneva, not a cash drop in Iran. Do voters care about this?
Probably not as much, at least not as much as what the media cares about. But I think there is a case that Hillary Clinton can prosecute against Trump, that he's just way too careless with the facts. I mean, facts matter when you're president. Presidents do not just sort of casually make things up about some B-roll footage that they see on TV and then perpetuate it for days and days and then simply sort of shrug it off and apologize with a tweet. And so, yes, maybe there's some recognition for Trump relative to his pattern of behavior that this is a walk back, because he never really walks back or apologizes for anything. But I think it's really going to be up to Hillary Clinton and the Democrats as to what they want to focus on when they go after Trump. And they have so much to work with. I don't know how much him sort of embellishing and making up something based on some video footage really rises to the top of that list for them.
Eli, there's been concern that Trump's blunders have overshadowed his attempts to take shots at Hillary Clinton. Yesterday, Paul Ryan said of Trump's recent comments, "You would think you ought to be focusing on Hillary Clinton and all of her deficiencies." Could we see Trump heed that advice in the days ahead?
Possibly. I mean, that's not surprising from Paul Ryan. It's pretty. It's a little cutting, but it's pretty clipped. This is the House Speaker who's really trying to bite his lip here and not say all the things, vent all the frustrations here. But it's not just Paul Ryan. Newt Gingrich, who was on the short list to be VP for Trump and is really considered to be closer to the candidate, was also very critical about all these unforced errors and the fact that Trump just never can seem to get out of his own way when he's trying to prosecute an attack against Hillary Clinton. The video, lying about the video, is another thing. His advisors wanted him to focus on this money, this $400 million, and as he's doing so, he's embellishing it to the point where it's sort of undercutting his own attack, because people are talking about the fact that he's lying. And so can Trump actually focus on Hillary Clinton? That remains to be seen. I mean, thus far, we haven't seen him really able to focus on anything for very long. He gets easily distracted, easily baited, with people criticizing him. And he can't let go of past slights. You saw that the way he decided to make a point of going out of his way to say, "I'm actually not ready to endorse Paul Ryan this week." You see that when he's on the stump, because after he's talking about the money drop, he goes back to a lot of the controversies that have dogged him for over a year, trying to talk about the things he said about Megyn Kelly or John McCain or the New York Times reporter with the disability. He can't let anything go. Nobody else is bringing these things up. He still is. And so as much as we think he's trying to sort of pivot to general election mode, he just seems sort of, unable to do that for whatever reason.
Let's talk about some of these new numbers that are out. He's been suffering in the polls. A few national numbers show him down double digits. He's losing in key swing states as well. Do these numbers speak more to Trump's bad week in reference to what you have been saying, or to what Clinton has been doing well?
I think Clinton had a very good convention, and Democrats, that was really the first time in this election cycle where the Democratic message was the one that was driving the news cycle. Up until now, everybody has focused on and reacted to what Donald Trump has been saying. So that was really the first time the Democrats had the media spotlight fully on them, and they really did take advantage of it. But I think Trump has compounded the situation. He's really exacerbated the damage that they did to him with the DNC by the sort of undisciplined week that he's had, just sort of this downward spiral. We've touched on a lot of these controversies, and you do see, some national polls have him down 10 points, some have him down 15 points. All these swing states, Hillary Clinton's lead has grown in the past week. Obviously, Republicans, there's two ways to look at it. They can say, well, it's August. Thank goodness it's August because there's a lot of time for him to fix it. And yes, voters have a short attention span. Not everyone's paying attention right now. But the other problem is, if Donald Trump can't fix it, the problem is it's only August. And other Republicans on the ballot have 3 more months of having to answer for everything that is said by the presidential nominee at the top of the ticket. And that could be painful and do further damage to Republicans down the ballot. And so it really is a matter of what Trump does going forward, and can he clean it up? Can he be more professional? Is there an event that happens that changes this, some sort of surprise in the fall? And what happens in these debates? But right now, the race looks pretty set in. We thought that the map, the road to 270, favored Hillary Clinton to begin with. This week only sort of increases her advantage. And so, Trump, he's not running out of time yet, but time is of the essence if he's going to climb out of this hole because he's got a lot of digging to do.
Is there enough time to fix this? What does history show if you're down double digits just a couple months from the election?
This is an unprecedented election cycle, so I'm a little wary of making predictions and saying he can't climb out of this hole. He is running against an opponent in Hillary Clinton who has incredibly high negatives herself. And so if she does something to sort of harden negative perceptions of her or to remind people what they don't like about Hillary Clinton, this race could get a lot closer. That said, Mitt Romney, John McCain, neither of them were ever this far behind at this point in the race or any point in the race, the general election in 2008, 2012. And so in terms of historical precedent, Donald Trump has done a lot of things that have surprised a lot of people, his success in this campaign. But it would be another, I'd say, pretty big surprise for him to sort of flip the script, get out of this hole, and somehow beat Hillary Clinton in November.
Let's look ahead to tonight. Trump will hold an event in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Some top Wisconsin Republicans, including House Speaker Paul Ryan, Governor Scott Walker, and Senator Ron Johnson, will not be there. How concerned should the campaign be about the Badger State?
This is one of those states sort of in the Midwest, the Rust Belt, places where they think that Trump's appeal with older white voters, with sort of blue-collar, working-class folks, Reagan Democrats, they thought that Wisconsin was one of these states that maybe they could steal, a blue state that they could steal. At this point, Wisconsin and Michigan seem very far out of reach for them. Wisconsin is a unique state in the sense that, you go back to the primary. This is where Trump suffered maybe his most embarrassing primary defeat. The state is just sort of pre-wired in a way on the Republican side that does not bode well for Trump. I mean, there's a successful Republican infrastructure, talk radio network, and the establishment folks who are there, the governor, the Speaker of the House, and the RNC chairman all being from Wisconsin, there's not as much antipathy towards the GOP establishment that you find among the base Republican voters in other states. So that hurt Trump in the primary. It tells you kind of what kind of Republican voters there are in and around the Milwaukee suburbs where most of the Republican vote is made up. Those are not Trump voters. Yes, up in Green Bay, maybe he has some more appeal in the northern, western parts of the state as well. But again, that's just on the Republican side. You factor in the fact that this is demographically, this is a state that generally goes blue in presidential years. Wisconsin is really a reach for the Trump campaign at this point, and they certainly haven't done themselves any favors in broadening their appeal there or really anywhere else over the last weeks or even really months since he's become since he basically won the primary in May.
All right, Politico's Eli Stokols, great talking with you. Thank you.
Thank you.